Know what I say? She can't joke, she don't know what to do.
She's gotta go. Bye. I know that you love this flow. We just chillin', we just villains. We just chillin', we some villains.
I love it up, get the ammo and I stick it up. I grab shots on the top of shots. I bust the clip and I let it dip. I make it poop, make it explode. Touch your toes, hit your nose. Can you touch your toes? Simon telling you what to do. Follow my commando, hit in the bando, trap in the bando, not like a Rambo. Rocky, Sylvester, Solo. I'm telling you, I get this money even on my own.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. I am your host, Brian Barnaby, and I am joined in studio by my main man, Magic Mike. What's going on, bro?
What's up, dude? It's good to be back. It was a long weekend, bro. A lot has happened in the sports world. Can't wait to talk about it with you guys.
Yeah, pumped to recap it. And we've been having a little technical difficulties with Grasso, who's going to join us FaceTime. We're going to try this out right now. Can we hear you?
Grasso, here we go.
Can you hear me?
You got the Prism pack. You got it. Nice, dude.
Oh, man, that's sick.
You got to bring it in studio.
It's the only reason I'm home right now.
You got to bring it in studio. We can't hear you that well, but that's
so you just head over, like make the second half of the episode?
Yeah, make it in.
I'm head over.
All right, peace. Tony, while he's doing that, we're going to set up the microphone to the left of Barnes, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, he's coming. So while we do that, ignore Tony.
All right.
Barnes.
We'll get started here.
This is the real shit. This is the real deal.
So obviously, the tournament starts on Friday, crazy weekend. And, every year it feels like everyone's always saying after the first weekend, oh, my bracket's busted. But I think this weekend was like no other. And, we've seen a 15 seed, beat a 2 before, but then to make it into the Sweet 16, Oral Roberts does that by taking out Ohio State and Florida in back-to-back games. Really impressed by them. So, they're the first 15 seed to get into the round of 16 since, the original Florida Gulf Coast team in 2011, which was always, they were fun to watch. And this team, is full of energy and ready to go. They were down 5 against Florida at the half, battled and ended up with a 3-point victory, last night. So that was very exciting. And then another great game from over the weekend, Syracuse, who, first round comes in as an 11 seed. They upset San Diego State, and then they get West Virginia, an 11 versus a 3. And they played a great game. They were up 11 with 2 minutes to go. West Virginia has a mad scramble at the end, trapping them with full court pressure. But Buddy Boeheim and the Orange come up with a 3-point victory, and they're on to the Sweet 16. And it's funny, I saw this, and shout out Nick Wright. I know we were talking about him a lot on Friday. And he was saying, and I saw his tweet this morning, and he's right. It's Syracuse, when they come in as a low seed, they're supposed to do damage. They usually go out in a game or two. But when they come in as 11, 12, they end up making it, Sweet 16. A couple of years ago, we saw them in the Final Four. So never know what that team's going to do. And I think it's a big product of, teams not being used to that type of zone defense. That always seems to give teams trouble. So props to Jim Boeheim on another job well done. And just looking in general, we have some interesting games all lined up for this coming Saturday to start the Sweet 16. The first one will be Oregon State versus Loyola Chicago. And once again, Sister Jean is back. She was in attendance for both of their victories. They get the win over Georgia Tech. And then, yesterday they take out the number 1 seed Fighting Illini from the University of Illinois. So impressed by that team. We talked about their coach, and it's crazy. I mean, I'm sure they've played a lot less games than them, but they're actually tied now with Duke for the best winning percentage in NCAA history. So based on that runner-up finish in the 40s, getting to the Final Four in 2018. So props to, Sister Jean and Loyola Chicago for sure. In Oregon State, we saw them win the Pac-12 tournament. They beat Cade Cunningham, the presumptive number 1 pick in the draft yesterday. So they're as a 12 seed. Then we have Villanova, who before the tournament, they lose their top leading scorers. Was expecting a 1-and-done out of them. They end up crushing North Texas yesterday. They're on to the Sweet 16. Jay Wright, we know he's one of the best coaches in America. They're taking on Baylor. Baylor, one of the top programs in the country this year. Scott Drew always does a great job. He's been at the helm almost 20 years. And then we mentioned Oral Roberts. They come in as that 15 seed. They're going to be playing University of Arkansas, their first Sweet 16 in, I think, over 20 years. So props to them. They squeaked out a tight win over Texas Tech. And then, we talked about Syracuse. They're going to be playing the University of Houston. And, that game yesterday with Rutgers, Rutgers controls it the whole way, and you really felt bad. They end up blowing it late, but University of Houston, they've been one of the better teams this season. So that should be an exciting game as well. And then, also we had a couple games today, and Luka Garza, who's going to win Player of the Year, they get blown out by Oregon, who had a free ticket into the round of 32 after the VCU positive test. So they get the job done. And then Gonzaga, the presumptive number 1 team in the country, they, it was close at the end, but at the end of the day, they end up stretching it to 15. And they beat the University of Oklahoma. So looking forward to see if they can get back to the Final Four and into that national title game. So tons of action. Still got, the Abilene Christian UCLA game. That's tipping off in about 10 minutes and a few other games tonight. So really looking forward to all of those. But my question to you, Mike,
Yes.
our bracket pick, what happened to the University of Connecticut?
I mean, dude, it hurts because we're UConn natives, and we always want the Huskies to succeed. But I think they just didn't. I mean, they're young. They're real young. They're missing players too. And it was their first time in the dance, and we were expecting the old school Jim Calhoun teams to come through. But clearly it's not. So, but with the other thing, the positive is Syracuse is in. So that to me is like a number 2 for me. Because fun fact, shout out Grasso, he knows this, and Matt was there actually. He was on the JV team. We won the Syracuse basketball camp.
Okay, yeah.
Back then when we were playing in high school. So they always since then have been one of our favorite schools. But so Syracuse is in. Gonna root for Syracuse going forward now. What about you, Barnes?
Yeah. I'd say, I'd like to see Syracuse, but I'm always intrigued by these low seeds. So, I would like to see if Loyola Chicago, the Ramblers, if they can get back to a Final Four, that would be a great story. And it just, you love seeing all these guys buy in, and they're just a really good team. And I really hope their coach, he should be able to pick whatever job he wants, Porter Moses, after the season, after the body of work he's done. So very interesting to see, what happens there. And then the other games we'll see today, Ohio and Creighton. And my favorite game of the night that's left, LSU and Michigan. Michigan, that number 1 seed. We saw LSU fall by 1 point in their conference championship game. So they've been a talented team, been on a run lately. So I think that's where we could see an upset. They're an 8 seed. Michigan's a 1. So this tournament's been full of upsets. So wouldn't be surprised if that happens. We have Colorado and Florida State. That's at 7:45. Maryland, this should be where UConn is. They're playing the 2 seed Alabama. That's at 8:45. And then we have Southern Cal and Kansas. That should be a really good game. We've talked about the Mobley brothers. So
let's go.
It's funny. You look at this and say, oh, well, Kansas, USC. I mean, Kansas has got, but it's like, this isn't Kansas. This is not Bill Self's best team. So I wouldn't be surprised if the 6 seed Trojans get into a Sweet 16.
No, yeah, I've loved them. I actually saw one of the Mobley brothers play firsthand. I was baseline camera operator for that game. It was in Springfield. He's a monster. He's paired up with his brother. And isn't Zaire on that team? Who else is on that team from LeBron's son's team? Let me look it up. Yeah, they're a good team. It's not what you're thinking, folks.
And then also, what me and my friends, when we were watching the game, I couldn't believe, I didn't realize that Coutinho Mobley is an assistant on this coaching staff.
Lefty God.
Dude, how sweet of a stroke did he have, though?
Oh, it was great. He had some years that were just beautiful years.
I mean, I think he could still win a 3-point shootout, honestly. I mean, you never lose a shooting touch.
They should do that in the 3-point contest. Do the legends versus the pros now.
That's just one of those things. Like, just do it. Like, I imagine seeing though, like Larry Bird, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen. Oh my God,
Ray Allen could easily do it.
What about Steve Novak though? Would he be a sleeper?
Stop it.
Come on, I know he's one of your favorites on that 2011 team.
Stop it.
You really didn't like Kovacs?
Discount double check?
I mean, come on. Hey, I honestly expected more out of you. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you know what? I didn't hate him. Let's put it that way. I just was like, he's too much hype for nothing.
And speaking of that, too, on that team, I expected a lot more out of Mike Bibby that year. You know, I mean, he was one of my favorite players, honestly.
Sad, right?
Early 2000s, but he just didn't have anything left at that point.
Oh, Zaire Williams went to Stanford. I'm sorry.
Zaire Williams, okay. And he was teammates with LeBron James Jr.?
Yep, and Dwayne Wade's son, Zaire Wade, and those kids, those guys that are like Brandon Boston, who's in Kentucky.
Okay, yeah.
He was on that team. Zaire Williams on that team. They had a good team, dude.
Yeah, they did. And one other thought, just thinking about UConn here, and I don't know if you noticed this watching the game, but I feel like the biggest priority for them going forward, you got to have shooters. I mean, it's so hard for them to hit 1 3-pointer. What happened to the days when Ben Gordon spotting up in the corner, Rashad Anderson,
Rip Hamilton, Ray Allen, Rudy Gay.
I mean, they're missing that.
What was his name?
Kemba, obviously Shabazz.
What was Ben Gordon's point guard?
Oh,
Talik Brown.
Talik Brown, yeah.
Like that?
Dude, they had all
that gem right there.
They just didn't have that, but I think now that they're in the Big East, we should really see them, getting the benefits of that with some better recruiting. So, really optimistic about them moving forward, and you think next year could finally be that time where they kind of get back on one of those runs. So, we'll recap all the madness, as it goes on, and looking forward to the games tonight and then the Sweet 16 this weekend.
Who do you think is going to win it now?
I think that it's going to be Gonzaga. I think everything sets up for that. Their team is just so good. Suggs, I mean, I think that's the best Gonzaga team they've ever had. Even though you think back to the time, it's all relative, kind of on perspective, but how good did they seem when Adam Morrison was on the team way back?
Dang. You mean the next Larry Bird?
You know what? It just slips my mind. What was Durant wasn't in his
you want me to look it up real quick?
But yeah, because no, it was Redick, I think.
Redick was in that draft class.
It was the two of them for Naismith Player of the Year. I definitely think that was the case, but I obviously remember Morrison crying on the court after they got upset, and then getting drafted in the first round high and just really couldn't.
Oh, this was a bad one, mate.
Wow,
you ready for this? Anderson Varejao. I mean Andrea Bargnani. I'm sorry. Andrea Bargnani,
and
Toronto, first overall pick.
How about the fact you look at this list right here?
Dude, do you remember LaMarcus got drafted by Chicago?
No, that's what I was going to say. And then traded for Tyrus Thomas. This is where, teams are so concerned about, what's his vertical?
Yeah, remember?
I mean, we saw Aldridge dominated Texas. I don't know why they were questioning that.
Adam Morrison for 3 with the Charlotte Hornets.
I mean, Brandon Roy obviously got robbed. Rudy Gay had
Brandon Roy was a
really
monster.
Career.
He was the best.
How about how Redick, started out as a bust and he's made well over $100 million.
JJ Redick transformed himself. This is what those dudes should learn. Those shooting guys, become two-way players. Play defense, 3-and-D.
Right.
3-and-D players last, dude.
Exactly. And then
Hilton Armstrong. Oh my God.
Sebalosha, I mean, he's had a solid career. Randy Foye gave it a run for a while.
Dude,
I
this
see
the
11
Rajon
years.
Rondo, 21st.
Rondo, obviously. Quincy Doobie. Remember we were talking about him the other day.
Wow, this trash draft.
Jordan Farmar. I mean, 10 years, but yeah, I mean, overall, definitely a weak draft for sure. And speaking of the NBA, we had some interesting games yesterday, and as we do often on this show, we'll start with your New York Knicks, and what a tough one. Once again, Sixers 101, Knicks 100. Julius Randle with a shot to win it at the buzzer. It rims out. And right before that, there was a foul call that ends up giving the Sixers the lead. I guess Thibodeau supposedly challenged it too late. And I'll just start by asking the question, was this another Knicks hosing?
I don't look at it as a hosing as much as I look at it as a Knicks growing and learning opportunity. We're one of the youngest teams in the league. People are so quick to, and especially in New York City, because they're so thirsty. It's disgusting. They're thirsty for a championship. So what do? They get what they want, a young, good team where no one expected them to be here. And then now we're here. Years ahead, I'd say, than we thought we'd be, right? Coming into the season. Grosso is in the building. Grosso has made it in the building.
Wow.
Just in time for the NBA Knicks
back.
talk, bro.
We just started talking Knicks Sixers.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all right. We got it. So yeah. They're growing and learning, and that's all I look at this as. And it's a beautiful moment. So hey, we fought, and we're right there with the top teams in the East in terms of playing basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have been any closer. Barrett, 19-8-8. So I mean, that was pretty solid. Randall, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Seems like we're reading off that, every night. And then I've been mentioning them. Burks is impressive. Another 20-point game for Burks.
Yeah, no, it's nice, dude. He's doing what he's got to do. He's making sure he's doing it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and I think too, and you've kind of downplayed this a little bit. I know these are close games, but I just have to say, I kind of feel like if they had Derrick Rose, like some of these games, they might have been able to win a couple.
Oh yeah,
of these close games.
Oh, when he plays, I forgot the record, but it's amazing. It's we're plus whatever. So
because I mean they've been going with quickly because is what's his name, the other point guard? He's out right
Alfred.
now? Yeah,
Alfred Payton. What's
hurt?
his name? Don't disrespect.
Trash. Yeah, he's always been your boy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you loved him in the beginning of the
wait,
year.
but
No, he's still trash.
Is he hurt though, or is he just in the doghouse?
No, he's hurt.
Okay, yeah, just wanted to make sure. So hopefully Rose, comes back soon. But
So we're talking about the Knicks game, huh?
yeah.
So do the Knicks fans
good
think
to have you back, man.
That's good to have me here? Do we think the Knicks fans got hosed?
Yeah,
Because you didn't.
no.
No,
Mike, I have to say I was impressed that you admitted that. I'm not gonna lie.
Because all Julius Randle had to do was stick his right arm out, and Tobias Harris is blocked out with 5 seconds
Or
left
hit
in the
that
game.
shot at the end.
I mean, not even the shot, though. He didn't box out. He
No.
pushed Tobias Harris right in the
I
back.
know,
I mean, they
I
could have
know.
reviewed that all they want, but clear
Yeah.
hand on the back is an automatic foul. Hate to see a game end that way with
Yeah.
5 seconds left in a 1-point game. Rather see him not blow the whistle,
I
but
mean,
it was a foul. Just box out, Julius Randle. Stop
Yeah.
being lazy.
yeah.
I'd be pissed. If I was Tibbs, I'm yelling at Randle.
But this was the true definition of a 90s type basketball.
Oh, that was
game.
the ugliest basketball game I've seen all year. It was terrible.
I mean, you barely get to 100 points each in overtime.
It was like 80-something. It was in the 80s with like a couple minutes left.
88, I think, at the end of regulation.
Yeah, that was a bad game.
I mean, Harris had 20,
But
Simmons had 16.
He was like 5 of 18 from the field, though.
The
He didn't play
efficiency
well.
was bad. Milton had 21.
Shake Milton, shake and bake, sniper shake. That's my
What do
guy.
you
I love
think-
Shake Milton.
Yeah, you think he's going to be a
He's a 6-man kind of guy, like
Yeah.
a Lou Will little protege. 6'6". He could shoot. He could dribble.
Yeah.
And he's a combo guard. He was really good in college. He went to SMU. He played point guard there.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, I mean, Shake Milton's one of those guys. I think he's going to have a long, long NBA career. He's only shooting about 30% from 3, but that's going to rise. He shoots
Right.
over 80% from the free throw line.
And I like the way he attacks the basket.
Yeah, he has no fear. And if you remember last year against the Clippers, who Doc Rivers coached that year, Shake Milton had a career high 39 points. So when Doc came over, all he said to Shake was, just play like you played against me last year, bud,
Yeah.
and you'll be just fine.
And another thing with this Sixers team I've been impressed with, I mean, they've gotten ravaged by injuries, obviously with Embiid being out, Curry being banged up.
A couple times Curry.
And at the end of the day, you're 8-2 in the last 10.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Green stepped up big last night, making shots.
Coming back from the dead.
Yeah, Furkan Korkmaz, who's like an in and out of the rotation kind of guy, made some shots last night early. Yeah. Tobias Harris he's going to keep that team pretty steady.
Yeah, I think Doc Rivers has his team too.
Doc Rivers is doing a great job there.
And speaking of that, I mean, you would know, being a big Sixers fan, I mean, do you notice already? I mean, I know we're not in the playoffs yet, but just the difference between having him as coach versus having Brett Brown.
There's a different attitude with the Sixers players on the court. They look, in the best way possible, meaner. Mm-hmm. Like they look like they belong. The toughness is definitely there. They're not complaining as much. They're not bitching. There's a level of toughness there. They feel like, I think Doc has put it in their minds that they belong as a championship contender. I don't know if they ever felt that before.
I think he's trying to compare. He's probably telling them they're like the 08 Celtics kind of.
Yeah, he's like, Embiid, you're like KG, but you're better.
Yeah, way better. At that point, yeah. No, KG was a monster.
And I think with Brown, it got tough at the end because everyone kind of thought he should have been out 2 years before he actually got fired.
Yeah, the thing about Brett Brown, I love him. Even as a Sixers fan, I think he's a great guy. Yeah. He was great for young players there, but as a head coach, like a leader of men, we always say that, like, he just did not have it in him. Guys kind of walked all over him. Jimmy Butler said he went to a team meeting with Embiid, Simmons, Butler, and JJ Redick. They sat there and they watched film for a half an hour. No one said a word. And then they went back to practice.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Butler looked at JJ Redick and was like, what the fuck was that? Like, what do I do here?
Yeah, I saw that.
Like who's in charge? Like, they never really knew, like, the chain of command over there. And now Doc has taken over and Doc's in charge.
Yeah. And I think, Doc's out to prove himself because it's been a while since that 08 championship. He's had these collapses in the playoffs and underperforming teams. So this is, an important year for him.
Yeah, Doc has really not been a very good coach since that Celtics team.
I haven't liked him since.
No, it's the name kind of. Mm-hmm. Doc Rivers, that is a big name in the NBA world. He's proven himself right now with the Sixers, but you also have to give credit to the Sixers players. They're playing well.
Yeah. It's a deep roster. And they're very talented. So looking forward to watching them, down the stretch. And another game from yesterday, we had the Pelicans Nuggets, and in the end, Pelicans 113, Nuggets 108. Big win for the Pelicans. We said they need every win they can get. Zion, another 30 points, 6 rebounds. Ingram 30 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, and Alexander Walker actually coming up big. He had 20 points, and that was big because Lonzo was out with an injury.
Yeah, and Alexander Walker's a good player. I mean, a good college career that one and done.
Right.
Good college year. And, last year he just kind of couldn't get into the rotation. He played a lot of G League minutes. And, this year you're seeing him get his chance with some injuries, and, he's going to be a good player. They drafted him in the lottery.
Yeah. Yeah, so
but look at Zion Williams.
Dude,
his efficiency. He was like 11 of 14, like 9 of 11 from the free throw line. Like, how do you score 30 points and take 14
I was going to say,
that's pretty amazing.
Once he gets comfortable shooting and getting his jumper better, it's over for him.
I mean, I think by the time he's on the Knicks, he's probably going to be competing in the 3-point shootout.
Definitely. No, 100%. He reminds me of, honestly, when there's this, I'll show you guys the video. It's Joe Vincent Films. Shout out Joe Vincent. He makes dope ass sports video films, and he made one when Zion was just in his NBA preseason up to there, and the video is dope, dude. It's so sick. He reminds me of Jordan, honestly, like big, stocky Jordan. Like, everyone doubted him, Jordan, early on because he was so athletic with his shooting, didn't have a jump shot, and his mom actually trained him to just watch Jordan, Bird, and Magic.
Yeah. Zion's mom's a beast.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't think we know like what kind of player Zion's going to be.
I think he's going to be crazy. I think he's going to be transcendent.
He doesn't have a position.
No.
He's just.
And the funny part too,
he's quicker. He's stronger than everyone.
Obviously, his thing is dominating the paint. But when he made his debut, didn't he start out with like 3 3-pointers or something? And now he like barely shoots.
Yeah, and now he's like running the screen and roll.
Yeah,
now he's a screen and roll ball handler.
He's gonna get there. He's gonna come like this off season was all about getting in shape for Zion.
Right.
Being able to play a full game, because last year he had restrictions on his limit, on
He
his
was playing
minutes.
like 20-something minutes.
It was ridiculous, but he couldn't make it up and down the floor. You'd see him. It was horrible, dude. But now it's like he's clearly in shape.
Yeah.
He's dominating. Now the next step he's going to take is his jump shot, his post game, those things throughout the years. And if he gets that, it's over for the league.
Yeah, I like how the Pelicans are kind of just letting him go to work inside this year.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
saying like, hey, go out and shoot 5 threes a game, because that's not Zion right now. They're just kind of saying, go be Zion.
Yeah, he'll get there.
And I
He'll get
thought
there, yeah.
it was impressive. They win this game because they dominate the paint, even though they shot 8 of 28 from 3. I mean, usually teams miss 23-pointers like that, and that, kind of sets them back, but it didn't even matter.
Yeah, well, when you got a guy like Zion just beasting
Bullying.
inside, it didn't miss in there.
And speaking of beasting inside, Jokic, once again, 11th triple-double of the year. I mean, I know it was a loss, but, I mean, anytime you get 29, 10, and 10,
Yeah.
and you've been
He's a
doing
monster.
it all year, I mean, he really, especially with the, we'll talk about it, but with the LeBron injury, I mean, I think he's neck and neck with Embiid for MVP. I mean, he's got to be.
Embiid's out too, so I mean,
Yeah.
this is Jokic just
Yeah.
to win, really. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's Lillard that's going to be the one
Lillard could
chasing
creep
him.
up,
Yeah.
But to be honest, though, with
or
Jokic,
Chris Paul.
we talk about Jokic all the time, but you are a 7-footer. You're 280 pounds, and you let Zion go as good as he did in the paint. Like he's got to start playing some defense.
They should have put
man.
Bull in.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you can't-
literally,
yeah.
but if you think about it, his whole game, everything is so good. That's literally the only weak part.
And you're not going to win a championship if that's your rim protection. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, like
Yeah.
Jokic can't protect the rim for shit.
They need to play
Yeah.
Bull.
And I'm looking at this Denver bench. The only guy they bring off the bench that's good is PJ Dozier, and he's a guard.
Dude, like give the kid a
You know
chance, bro.
who I think is terrible? I don't mean to like dog on people, but Campazzo.
Campazzo's terrible.
I can't stand him.
He's terrible.
It's like so
I know
annoying to
Monte
watch.
Morris is out, but
Yeah.
even when Monte Morris was playing, Campazzo was playing. And
Yeah.
Jermichael Green,
Oh, God.
Isaiah Hartenstein. Like, why is
Oh
he
my
in over
God,
Bol Bol?
Hartenstein.
Hartenstein's terrible. He
Dude,
couldn't
these-
even get minutes with the Rockets.
And I
last year.
hate that
They
they're
didn't even
like,
have a center.
Yeah.
I hate that they post like Bull dominating the practice.
Yeah,
Like, then why don't you
is
play
he in
him?
the game?
You
Yeah.
guys think that would work though? Them two, like
Yeah, they're both
next to
stretch
each other,
bigs.
Jokic and Bol?
Bol, yeah,
I mean, they would. They're
Dude,
not
Bol Bol's
that
a unicorn.
athletic, but yeah, I think it would work.
yeah.
And you
That-
got to try it
yeah,
with Michael Porter Jr. out there too. Now you have 3 guys with over 7-foot-long wingspans.
yeah.
Dude, and Bobo is he rim protects, bro.
Yeah.
Give him a chance. He's gonna be so hungry out there, dude.
And Jamal Murray, another strong game. He had 23 and 7, and Porter and Barton, they each had 17. So I like Will Barton. I think he's
Love
one of the
Will
more underrated guys. He's really good at scoring. So Denver, they own the tiebreaker over Portland, so they're 5th in the West, and they have games against the Magic and Raptors coming up. So that would be a chance, to get a couple more victories. You would think. I mean, we never know in
You
this
would think,
landscape.
Yep.
And then also just some other notes from the weekend. And obviously this one hurts to say, my guy LeBron, he has that high ankle sprain on Saturday versus the Hawks. They lose that game. They lose handily to the Suns. Yesterday, still waiting on AD to come back. So just one of those things. I mean, you'd hope they could just in the games remaining till one of those guys get back, that they could be somewhere around 500 and not just pull a Rockets and lose, 10, 20 games in a row.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous, but I think their team is the other guys on the team are decent where you should be able to win against some of the bottom teams. in the
Yeah,
league.
I think this is like the time where like Schroeder and Harrell do their
Right.
thing and just kind of go off offensively.
Right.
I
right.
think they'll have enough firepower to keep it 500, but that's what they got to do. You're right.
Yeah.
They got to just keep it 500 for now. LeBron shouldn't be out too long. And what's Davis, like another week or 2?
Yeah, I think probably 2.
Probably 2.
But you want to
maybe
be
3.
But you want to be careful with him because
Of
you can't have
course.
him get injured again.
But you also don't want to drop to like the 6th or 7th seed in the West. And
Yeah, but maybe they can get someone in this buyout market. I mean, even though I don't really like him, I would be hard to argue that if Aldridge is bought out, that he wouldn't help the team just in the interim.
yeah, I mean, he wasn't getting minutes in San Antonio. We don't really know why. So
Yeah.
if he can play and he's healthy, he can score. He'd be an
help
upgrade
him.
over Marcus
And
Gasol.
then we called it first game. Speaking of buyouts, Blake
First
gets
basket.
above the rim.
That was-
He gets above the rim.
His first
That was
bucket.
his first
Yeah.
bucket as a net was a dunk. He just said, "Fuck you, Detroit." I'm out.
Man,
But that
was fun.
LeBron injury had me really scared for a second because I saw I didn't see the game.
Yeah.
I saw one highlight, and it looked like him falling like right on his knee. I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because like an injury like that, like an ACL or something like that.
So really, a
LeBron would-
high ankle sprain is probably the best case scenario.
high ankle sprains are bad injuries. Like that
Right.
might keep him out a month, but
But at least it's not a ligament.
it's not an ACL.
And
or a
speaking
meniscus.
of bad injuries, looks like LaMelo Ball's out for the season with a broken wrist. That one's tough. Really enjoyed watching
That's
him
sad.
this year.
Yeah, he was having a great season. Probably one of the most fun guys to watch. And since he's been in the starting lineup, he's
a
playing
fun
like an
guy.
all-star. He's like 26-6.
I mean, any
Numbers-wise,
coincidence,
Charlotte's playing
this
well.
happens right after he says he's not excited about playing LeBron.
Yeah, right.
They both get injured. That's weird. You want to talk about conspiracy
Michael
theories?
Jordan put a hex on him. He was saying it. He's like, he calls Michael Jordan Unk.
Yeah.
That's why he said he didn't watch what's his name. You know what I mean? He watched Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just saying that.
But
He watched LeBron.
Oh, yeah, he did. He didn't know who Jordan was
Yeah.
until he got drafted by him.
Look at Barnes. He's
He's like, oh, that guy my dad would beat one-on-one.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
yeah,
Loves LeBron. Even though Jordan's better.
Way better.
we said we weren't. I mean, come on.
I'm just saying,
gotta
we're
have
not
a
gonna go there.
special-
We will.
have to have a special segment.
We will.
Why LeBron's 100 times better than Jordan, but we'll do that at a different time, not right now. Okay.
You and Matt versus me and Grasso.
Hold on. LeBron better career, Jordan better player.
Facts.
Facts.
LeBron better player and better career. And the story is still not over.
You know what? And honestly, if Shaq never left Kobe, Kobe would have been the best. I rest my case.
Well, wait. Why
I disagree
should,
with that.
Yeah. Why should someone leaving? Wouldn't it be about the player, not?
Listen, he had to go through some shit years by himself.
He didn't even make the playoffs.
He had shit teams in a deep West, dude.
Kobe sucked.
How good of a team was the 07
You know what's
Cavs?
crazy? Besides any point guard in the league history, Kobe has the most assists.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
played like a
yeah.
million minutes, dude.
Shut the front door.
Wait,
he didn't have
he has
to
more than
pass it.
LeBron?
Yeah.
Does he? LeBron's going to pass him.
Duh.
LeBron's not like a point guard.
LeBron.
Jokic is going to pass him.
We'll see. Might be like Mark Gasol. And in 5 years, he can't even walk.
Anyhow,
Reese Fabiani. MJ all day. Bye.
Thank you, Reese. Thank you.
thank
Sorry.
you for the terrible comment.
And that was a solid egg flip this morning, Reese.
Yes, it was Reese. It was a flip worth 4.8.
But Tony was a little tough.
Tony's lame with
Tony's
the rating.
tough, man.
Just doesn't get it. Want to bring people back? Rate a little higher.
Yeah.
Let's go to the NBA preview.
Want to get me to flip
Yeah.
an egg?
you know,
I want 4.2 chubs.
little weak schedule tonight. Not too many good games, but we'll preview the best two we got. So we'll talk. We got the Pacers visiting the Bucks. Pacers come in 19-22. Bucks 27-14, and we've seen this Pacer team struggle all season, but was big for them to get 2 wins over the weekend against the Heat, who've been one of the more hotter teams in the league. So
Very hot.
that's a positive. And Mike's boy, Malcolm Brogdon, has been heating up lately. 22 points per game on 50,
Don't disrespect me like
54%
that.
shooting
My
his
boy.
last 10. But just on Brogdon a second. I mean, I feel like we probably talked about this with you before, but I don't understand. Where's the problem with Brogdon? Why is he not good? I mean, I don't understand the hate.
Who said that?
I say that.
Malcolm Brogdon's really good.
Yeah.
He's
I
not
don't
that good.
The thing about Malcolm Brogdon is he's not like a star. He's not like a lead player. He should have never left Milwaukee.
Yeah,
He would have been
exactly.
the perfect second guy to,
Yeah.
or third guy to
No,
Giannis
second.
and Middleton.
He'd be second.
Probably.
He would have
right?
taken over that
I
spot.
mean, Brogdon's one of the best shooters we have in the league. He's a solid ball handler, great passer, good defender.
One
Very
rookie of
good
the
defender.
years after
I feel like
being
the
a second
Pacers.
round pick.
Second round draft.
I think that was no one. There was no good rookies that year.
I feel like the Pacers are like one of those go die places now
But no, I
in your
think-
career.
I don't know. I could see them, having
No,
a lot
dude.
better time.
When's
down
the last time
stretch.
they won? When did they win anything?
But the thing is, it's very hard to win. Like,
They've
we're-
been competitive for 20
Yeah,
years.
they've been competitive.
Well, more than they've been competitive since
Uh-oh.
Reggie Miller.
This
Okay. Here's a salty Knicks fan for you. I knew there'd be some out there. I'm not giving the Knicks fans anything today. You guys lost that game. Blew it.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Grouse is a Sixers fan, Sam. So
It's not even that, dude. Julius Randle, you're supposed to be one of the best rebounders in the league. You can't box out Tobias Harris.
Yeah. And you could have made the
How
shot.
can you box out J. Cole?
True. Slippery.
Um,
And the challenge rule, so is it like you got to do this?
Sam, call in, FaceTime in, DM us your Gmail.
Technically, it was a foul, Sam.
DM us your
even though
Gmail.
I hate to see a
Instagram,
game
Downtime
determined
TV.
5 seconds, but open hand to the back of any player is a foul automatically. Even if they reviewed that, they wouldn't have been able to overturn it. It's way too clear cut in the rule book.
yeah.
Woof.
Yeah, no, I think so.
Wow.
And then back to the Pacers here.
I hope he comes in.
The reason why I feel pretty good about them is, we've seen LeVert after that kidney scare. He's come back, and I think he's going to start playing better. He's getting used to just being out there. And then Sabonis all season, over 20 points, over 11 rebounds, over 6 assists. He's had a really good year. So, I mean, there's a lot of talent on this team. And right now, they're one game behind the Hornets for 8th, but I don't think it should be a problem to overtake them with LaMelo out. I mean, they're not going to be even close to the same team.
Yeah, Charlotte's fallen, and like I even said before, I think New York could fall. I'm not saying they're gonna, but Karis LeVert coming back is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, Victor Oladipo wasn't playing well.
Right.
Even when he was healthy in Indiana. So LeVert's kind of like an upgrade. So you pair him and Brogdon in the backcourt, they're both pretty much combo guards.
Right.
And now you have a guy like Sabonis down low who we've seen all year, all-star player. Those three together make a really good core to start your team. It would be great if they had TJ Warren back, or if Miles Turner wasn't also a 7-footer like Sabonis.
But, I mean, on Turner, I'm not in
stretch.
love with his offense, but on defense, I mean, he's a game changer with the block. So I think that's an important, piece for them to have.
And I think that was, going into this offseason, everyone was saying, look, you got to trade either Sabonis or Turner. And they're saying, well, Sabonis is special on offense and Turner's special on defense. Sabonis is a great rebounder. Turner's a 7-footer that can shoot threes. They're both pretty valuable players.
Yeah.
I mean, I think every NBA team would like both of these guys. But
so, I mean, I think just, especially for this year, I mean, just keep everybody, see how the year plays out, then make your decisions, in the offseason.
Yeah, run with LeVert.
Yeah.
See what he brings to the team.
Yeah, no, I've always liked LeVert. And then on the other side of this, the Bucks have been hot. I know all you guys, your favorite championship contenders, 6 straight. They're 2 games back from first. Giannis has been balling lately, on fire. And one thing that I've been impressed with Giannis, besides the numbers, we know he's, averaging over 30, over 11 rebounds, almost 8 assists, but that he's improved his free throw shooting over the last 10 games, going from a guy that's shooting 67 to 77%, which, I mean, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's huge. And for a guy that plays so aggressive, you've got to be able to knock down your free throws.
Right.
That's a huge game changer. And shooting just in general, I feel like starts at the free throw line. When you're knocking down free throws, you start knocking down threes and mid-range jumpers and hitting them from the corner. And the free throw line gets you going a lot of times. Coaches will always tell you if you're struggling, go to the hoop, get fouled, go to the free throw line, make 2, you're back.
Yeah. Yeah, and the guy, that everybody struggles defending, of course, he's going to get fouled a lot. So that's important.
Giannis, though, I mean, I think the Bucks are doing their best, regular season. This is their time to shine kind of thing. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. But Drew Holiday has been pretty good. I mean, he had those couple games where he wasn't playing too much. Probably a little hangover from the COVID, but he seems healthy now. Drew Holiday is the guy that's going to take them over the edge if they do go over the edge. I don't know how confident I am in Drew Holiday doing that. I love Drew Holiday. I think he's a great player. But I don't think he's the big game changer there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I see that.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, it's Sam.
He came in to defend the Knicks.
Sam, let's hear if we can hear you.
What's up, guys?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, sir. How you doing, Brody? Nice to see you, dude.
Good, man. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys.
Good to have you on, bro.
Doing, dude. Really great stuff.
Thanks,
really
bro.
great stuff.
Thanks, bro. Glad to have you on because we know, Grosso, Elise, and I know, you are a diehard, not only basketball fan, but you are a diehard sports fan.
Hold on,
so
do you have Knicks colors streaming in the background?
I got Jordan behind me. Actually.
Oh,
that
lighting in here. So.
Barnes hates him, bro. But we'll get in it. We'll have you come on in studio.
Come on.
Wait, hold on. We'll have you come on in studio, and you could defend Jordan. You could be one of our guests on the debate.
You join our team.
Yes.
Sounds good. I'll be on
Sounds
that side.
good. I'll be on that side for sure.
So talk to us about the Knicks game real quick,
I
bro.
mean, I'm not gonna
make excuses,
make
or
excuses or
ticky-tack
what's going
bullshit,
on right
like
now,
what's going on right now. But
if that off ball foul was an actual foul on Randall.
Rosso,
I'm looking at you.
I know.
He barely touched him.
I know.
I know there was
I'm not
contact.
gonna
I know
argue.
there was contact. I'm not
denying there was contact
But
whatsoever.
if they're gonna make that call with 12 seconds left in the game,
Five.
not even 5.
I think. Yeah. So okay.
I mean, come on, dude. There were only two refs to be there in the beginning. I mean, if they're gonna call that, the NBA is going soft.
NBA is going soft.
I'm
sorry.
and that's just ridiculous. But you know what? That's me being a Knicks fan.
Me being a Knicks fan. And
Randall, you're right.
you're right. You got to box out. But
he was
I mean,
sealed
he
up.
was
I don't know.
sealed
man.
up. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, Randall looked the wrong way at first. Tobias
Yeah.
was baseline
Yeah.
side. Randall looked towards the middle of the court to get him first. But yeah, I mean, hate to see a game be determined by the refs like that. Like that shouldn't have been a foul. Even if Tobias gets through clean, he's probably not getting that rebound.
Exactly.
But like,
Exactly.
it's just clear as day, like hand on the back. You can't
again-
really get away with
And
that
again,
anymore.
look at the score. We
Look
lost
at the
by
score.
1 point.
We lost by 1 point.
We
I
missed
mean,
free throws.
We missed free throws.
That killed us. That
killed us. That hurt us bad.
At the end of the day,
At the end of the day,
for
though,
the refs to
ultimately decide a game. If you've been a player, if you
watched the game,
if you've been involved with basketball,
you know that feeling.
Oh
And
yeah.
and it
and
sticks with you.
it
for,
sticks with you
you know,
for
a day or
you
two.
know a day or two.
At that
But
time,
at that
with
time,
Thibodeau,
with Thibodeau,
was he not allowed to?
was he not allowed to challenge that? I don't know what was
He
going
was
on.
trying to.
We
He
still
was
don't
trying
really
to.
know.
Dude, that whole challenging thing is so confusing.
They
There's
said
no,
it was
like,
too
official-
late.
no,
Well,
like,
he
official
called a
rule.
timeout, and I guess once you call a timeout, you have to make the challenge within a certain amount of time. But Tibbs,
Okay.
he made the timeout and then just started arguing.
Right.
He never.
Yeah, right.
I think you have
Yeah.
to do this. Like you officially have to like
Run.
swirl your finger
Run.
in the air
Right.
like a moron
Yeah.
Yeah.
instead of just whispering
Like,
challenge.
yeah,
to the ref
yeah,
like
yeah.
normal
But
people.
he
Stupid.
was
But he was screaming.
I love it.
Like
Yeah,
I love it.
passion that
the
comes
passion that comes
I mean,
right.
We haven't
I
had
mean,
a coach like
we
this.
haven't had a
honestly,
coach like
since
this
Van Gundy,
honestly
I'm gonna
since
say
Van
it.
Gundy. I'm
gonna
gonna say
go
it.
Yeah, and he was on, and dudes,
Yeah, he
and
was
guess
an
what?
assistant.
He was an assistant
Exactly.
on that team.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
he was.
Exactly. Yeah, he was.
Yo,
And
Sam, I have a
Woodson
question
is-
about
Woodson
you.
is
Yeah.
an assistant. Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yo,
Grosso and I'm going to go back and forth with him and we are huge Kevin Knox fans.
Huge.
Can you just like explain why he's not playing? Because we don't get
What's
it.
the deal?
Like we
Okay,
could get,
I
we
mean,
could
okay,
get, we
I
could get
mean-
that from Knox, what Bullock's delivering as a starter or whatever. You know, we could do that.
Defensively,
That's
I
what,
don't
and I knew
don't
it,
know.
right? That's why he's not playing because he's not.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Bullock,
feel
we
like
thought that was
Bullock
it.
is getting in
block a
what
game,
one
at
block
least
a
two,
game,
maybe.
I know.
two maybe.
Well, they got Bullock trying to lock down the top offensive player on the other team at the end of
Right.
games. They must think he's
Right.
their guy.
I mean,
yeah, no.
I
But
mean,
do you see?
Sorry, go
All right, real. No, you're good, dude. Do you see and this is what I see in him. Me and Barnes were talking about this actually. Grosso, you weren't here in the last show we did. No one. I was just me and Barnesy boy. Do you see a Jimmy Butler in Kevin Knox?
I see the same.
like
Yeah, that's a good.
Obviously,
comparison. That's a
opposites
good
to start.
comparison.
actually.
But I feel like if I was Thibs, I'd be like, yo, listen, you have what he didn't have on the opposite end, and he grew to have that. So let's flip the script, learn how to play defense, and you could be a star.
If he can consistently
lock down defenders
and
be that clamp that Bullock has been,
then sure.
But
on the offensive side, what is he putting up?
What is he putting up?
When
I
he's
mean,
playing?
when he's playing,
when he's even playing.
when he's even playing, even.
I mean, he shoots under 40% and under 30 from three, but
Dude, it's
he
tough.
never gets a rhythm.
Yo,
though,
God, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's
Dude,
no
you know
rhythm,
what it's like.
there's
when
no
you come-
rhythm,
There's no consistency. Yeah.
Sam, you're a coach. You know what it's like, and
Right.
and you've played
Right.
hoops too. You get it. Like
Right.
you know what it's like to come in the game cold and have to worry about making a mistake. Let's say you know whether it's on offense or defense.
And you're only out there for like 4 minutes.
right. You may have you
Right.
may even have a minute
Right.
with
Bro,
Thibs,
you're-
especially.
Bro,
You know,
you're-
go ahead.
No, I was just saying. No, I was just saying. With that, we all know that feeling. We all know that feeling. With that minute you get, or that 2 minutes, or that 2 minutes you get, or that, like, you know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What's given to you that's gonna give you more time? What has Kevin Knox done to deserve more time?
I feel like the glimpses he's been in
his 1 or 2 minutes.
But you also have to think. I mean, is he just like shitting the bed at practice though? You wouldn't know.
I don't think so.
No, I mean,
I don't think. No, I think it's all defense.
The defense is just not there. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
And I think it comes down to like what Sam said. Like, what do you do with those few minutes you get on the court? We all know what Tibbs wants to see. He wants to see you fight and play defense.
For minutes.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, I don't think he's that good, but Bullock actually has had some recent like good games.
Well, it's not that Reggie Bullock's a bad player. He's a good player, but he's like 32 years old.
Yeah, and this kid is dude. Knox
loves his vets though. That's what it is.
Does.
Yeah, but dude, but he does love young talent, and he makes you work for it. You know, and like a Jimmy Butler, like that's a perfect example. Luol Deng was another example. He made him work early on in his career. And you like
Tibbs,
that.
He just instills the veterans to get into the rookies' ears. You know what I mean? So he's going to boost their morale as a younger player. Kevin Knox is
21. He's 21, dude.
21-year-old. And Bullock is how old?
He's around 30,
dude. Yeah.
Like around. Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's just a couple years, dude. You know, like give him another year. Give him another 2 years of solid practice with Julius Randle, Bullock, Rose, Derrick Rose. Get his year, and I think he'll definitely blossom into a dynamite player within the next couple of years. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because next year will be his last year on the rookie deal. So the Knicks will have to make a decision whether they want to give him an extension or he'll go into restricted free agency and the Knicks could match anything. But it'll be interesting to see if another team gives him some money and he can go somewhere else and shine, or if the Knicks will match.
Yeah, and not saying that it's the right move, but I think if he barely plays the rest of the season, they might just trade him in the offseason.
Yeah, if they can get value, but I wouldn't. I think Knox is going to be a good player.
Do you want him on your bench, on your roster? Like, yeah, he's going to play maybe 1 or 2 minutes, but he could get that block, throw the outlet for an easy 2, and then all of a sudden he's getting more playing time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just that one spark I think we need to see from him that we have not seen yet. But like we were just talking about, he's 21 years old. I mean, there's only time for him to grow. And if, the Knicks want to hold on to him, we'll see. But he's got to show us something. He's got to show us a little bit more before we can make that, long-term commitment, I feel.
He seems very shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he goes on the introvert. Like an introvert kind of. He's just kind of in the background. He'll come out of his shell eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the veterans like Randall and Rose will hopefully, get in his ear and just tell him what the deal is and what he needs to do to succeed in the NBA. They've been there long enough. They know what they need to do. What do they need to do?
I hope the Knicks keep him.
But thanks for joining in.
Absolutely, guys. Love it. Anytime.
If you want to come on more, you let us know, bro. We'll talk more after this.
Absolutely. Sounds good, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks. Peace, bro.
Thanks, Sam. But yeah,
awesome.
and great to have him on. And just before he came on, we were previewing the Pacers and the Bucks game, and I just saw on NBC Sports Edge, I guess Brogdon and Turner are questionable for tonight's game. So because it's the second of a back-to-back. So I mean, obviously, I know what everyone's thinking if they don't play. So we will, I guess, pick this game based on that they are, because it's not a doubtful tax, so I guess there's still a decent amount of chance that they'll play. So that being said, what do you got?
I still think even if they play, even if TJ Warren was still playing, I think the Bucks are rolling. I think the Bucks are taking this at home.
Yeah, I think so. 7 straight for the Bucks. Giannis triple doubles, and
Drew Holiday is back.
Yeah,
and Mike gets more and more convinced on their championship pedigree.
Yeah, okay. They're trash.
And then another game tonight, and this one I'm excited to watch this.
Why?
The hottest team in the NBA right now, the Atlanta Hawks, 8 straight wins after McMillan takes over. Terrible schedule. I already looked it up, so I don't need you to tell me because I know that's what you're going to say. But it's momentum, and the Clippers are a team that has
Are on the
not won
opposite
the
end,
games
yeah.
that they're supposed to. I mean, they just had the big blowout win of the Hornets, but before that, struggling a lot. So it'd be just interesting to see, do the Hawks keep this going? Trae Young, like we said, the scoring's down a little bit this year. Not that efficient from three, taking a lot of shots. I think he's around, 35% or whatnot. But one guy who goes under the radar that's had a really good year, DeAndre Hunter, has really taken that step forward in his second season.
Do we know if he's playing tonight? Because he was listed as out, and then I had to shut my computer down and race over here.
Let's see what we got.
To go on DeAndre Hunter against the Clippers, DeAndre Hunter is like the prototypical guy to guard Kawhi Leonard and big wings.
Right.
Because Hunter's at about like 6'8", 230, physical, NBA body from the start out of Virginia. Yeah, he's playing great. He knocks down all of his shots. DeAndre Hunter, they drafted DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish that same year in the lottery. It was like one of them has to pan out.
Right.
Hunter definitely is panning out. And Reddish, who also I think is out tonight, he's also playing pretty well too.
Right.
So like the Hawks are kind of hitting on these draft picks now. I still don't like Trae Young, but the rest of the team's pretty good.
And how about Capella? Wait, he's grabbing boards left and right.
Well, why the hell did the Rockets trade him?
Yeah.
Like that was years ago.
That was literally last year, and they were all in with their small ball.
It feels like it.
It feels like
they were like, yeah, let's trade this really good young center who plays great pick and roll basketball with James Harden, and put PJ Tucker at center, who's 6'5".
Perfect.
Yeah, and I think in that
Mike
trade,
D'Antoni,
it was like a three-way deal, and they got Covington, I think, at the time, and then they traded him, in the offseason.
Yeah, and Covington was like their second center.
Yeah.
He was like a small forward.
But,
I mean, we really don't have positions in basketball
obviously, they're not going to do anything crazy this year. They were well under 500 before this winning streak, but I think, they have a lot of pieces that build, from within. So that's a positive sign for them.
Yeah, because if you look, you got Trae Young, even though I don't like him. Atlanta obviously likes him. I think you guys kind of do. DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, Kevin Huerter, John Collins, Clint Capella, Onyeka Okongwu, the guy they just drafted out of USC who played basketball in high school with the Ball brothers at Chino Hills.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on. Chris Dunn's on this roster. Rondo's on this roster.
Yeah, it's
nice.
nice.
Who else do they got? Bazemore still around?
Now,
no, I don't think so.
I mean, he hasn't played that much this year, but if they do get in the playoffs, I think we'll see some type of version of playoff Rondo.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
Rondo
yeah.
will be. He doesn't miss the playoffs. He misses the regular season every year.
So this is, I think, going to be an interesting game, and I think the Clippers catch a break. Like we said, they've been struggling 4-6 in their last 10, but with this LeBron injury, this is their time to make up some games and put some space, potentially between them and the Lakers. But they do have a tough schedule coming up. They're going to play the Spurs twice, then the Sixers and the Bucks. So this is kind of go time for them.
Yeah, and the Clippers, they need a player on that team that's going to walk into that locker room tonight and say, like, we need to fucking kill this team and keep it going. And who's going to do that? Like, the Lakers are obviously going to lose some games now without LeBron and AD. It's time for the Clippers to gain some ground, and they need a leader on that team who's going to like push the other guys to get there. It's not Kawhi. I mean, it's not Paul George.
Lou Williams?
Pat Bev?
I mean, I feel like Lou Williams is kind of like giving up on this team.
Yeah.
He wants some lemon chicken pepper.
Yeah.
And if this game was in Atlanta, he would be there.
He probably wouldn't be there. Strip club.
But so let's pick this game. Who do you guys got?
I still will pick the Clippers for tonight, especially if DeAndre Hunter doesn't play, because then if Hunter and Reddish are the only two guys on the Hawks, I think that could even like withstand Kawhi Leonard. Because Kawhi Leonard's powerful.
Yeah.
So I mean, if those guys don't play, then what are you going to do? Put Danilo Gallinari on him or Kevin Huerter? Like that's going to be barbecue chicken. And Kawhi's going to go off. I got the Clippers.
And
I don't like
Clips.
You're going Clips. And all I have to say for this one, if it rains 8 straight days in a row, what happens the 9th day?
Sun.
Right.
No, we got torrential downpours. Hawks in the upset spot on the road.
Is that your lock of the night?
Lock of the night. Kind of stuck that one in there. So we'll see what happens. Looking forward to obviously watching some NBA tonight, the rest of the tournament games, and like we said, the UCLA Abilene Christian game going on right now. I guess 5 minutes left in the first half. UCLA up 12. Kind of what I expected. After getting that big win over Texas, just these small time programs. I mean, not everybody can be Oral Roberts and make it to the Sweet 16. Usually this is what we see when we see a big upset in the first round.
We love those stories, though.
We do. And really, UCLA, I mean, they were in the playing game. They had to beat Michigan State, and then, they get in, as an 11. Did
you see the guy who got Oral Roberts tattooed on his ass?
No, I missed that one, fortunately.
He probably did not think he was ever going to get that tattoo when he bet on Oral Roberts to win any games in this tournament. But, yeah, he's got a tattoo on his ass now.
Nice.
I was going to say one more thing before we close out on NBA.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon requested a trade today from Orlando.
Ooh.
Aaron Gordon, I thought, should have been traded it's hard to request a trade these days, especially when you're not a star. But Aaron Gordon's a good player.
Yeah.
He can help out teams, and he's the kind of prototypical guy that you like. He's 6'8", he can shoot,
athletic,
he can guard different possessions. Yeah, he's a super athlete.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see who's interested in him and if someone makes a play this year for him.
I think his contract isn't too bad, right?
I think he makes like 17 or 18 million a year.
Okay, but he's 25, right?
Yeah, that's not a ton for the NBA. That's a decent contract.
So I think there'll be a lot of suitors for him.
Yeah, he's young.
The potential is there. So we will see what happens. And then, this weekend we had some NFL news, some pretty decent sized moves. And the first one, the Rams pick up Deshaun Jackson. And Deshaun Jackson's a guy, he's been hurt the last 3-4 years, but whenever he is in the lineup, I mean, he's always good to catch a 90-yard touchdown. So the Rams going all in, trading their former number 1 overall pick, Jared Goff, going with Stafford. I mean, this is the type of move you have to make, and they're not paying him much, so you might as well take a chance.
Yeah, get some weapons around him. And did you see, speaking of the Rams, their defensive lineman was like, yeah, Stafford's a huge upgrade over Goff, and then they traded the lineman to the Lions. He said that. So now he's playing with Goff again.
So there should be some tension there.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, Deshaun Jackson, I mean, obviously I'm not too up on football. Speed demon. Stafford's got a cannon. We all know that.
Yeah.
So get some weapons around
and
Stafford.
It's funny. I think at this point, he's 34, 35, but probably still one of the fastest guys in the league.
Yeah, so, he's not slowing down.
It'd be interesting to see if he can, stay relatively healthy this year.
Yeah.
The New York Giants finally make a splash. They go with Kenny Golladay, 4 years, $72 million. So he was, really the top free agent wide receiver left on the market. I think it's a great signing for the Giants, but my whole question is, can Daniel Jones get him the ball? And I think the answer is no. So maybe by bringing him in and he'll be complaining a lot about how bad Jones is, that'll propel them to go in a different direction at the quarterback position.
Maybe they sign Golladay to get Jones out.
There you go.
But maybe this is the year that Daniel Jones can step up.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it. I mean, Mike, don't you think he's trash?
Oh, garbage.
Yeah. But I guess we will see it play out. And then the New York Jets make another splash. Former New Orleans Saint first rounder Sheldon Rankins on a 2-year deal. I like to move a ton of money. And anytime, you can get a guy that was a first rounder that's still relatively young, you go with it. And, he's had a pretty decent run there. So the defense, as we saw last year, needs as much help as possible. So I like the signing, and I think the Jets have had a really good offseason.
Yeah, it's like, what do you call those? Like low risk, high reward. It's, you're not paying much. You're getting a guy that obviously had a ton of talent. He's a first round pick. Yeah. I mean, if he works out for you, that's amazing. And if he doesn't, whatever.
Yeah.
Jets, baby.
I just can't wait to see what they do with that number 2 pick.
Me too. It's making me itchy.
But you think it's locked in? If there's no trade, it's Wilson? I mean, there's just no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you going? Or the tight end?
Pitts at 2?
Not the lineman?
I think you're thinking about Sewell.
No.
Oregon
Penei Sewell?
No, tight end.
I mean, I like Pitts.
Yeah, they are saying Pitts is like generational talent, but
really in this spot, I guess almost trading down, you get the value, but I just think Darnold is cooked there. So it's just like, does it make sense to trade to 7 and not even, maybe get Mac Jones? Maybe. Well, why not get the best quarterback possible when you need one bad?
Yeah.
And you've needed one bad. So I've been
Since Broadway Joe.
I've been very against Zach Wilson from the beginning, but I'm kind of warming up to the idea now. And it's just one of those things. Take a chance. I mean, you got to do something. So,
and I'm going to say this live here right now. If the Jets draft Zach Wilson, I will officially be a Jets fan.
Let's go.
Wow.
Or trade for Deshaun.
Obviously. Yeah. That's a given.
Oh, man. And then, also just some other stuff from the weekend. Matt Jones, I said it on the show on Thursday. We fired that 61. He wins the Honda Classic, so
good for him.
Big win for him. He hadn't won in a while, and one of my favorite tournaments of the year, just because of the format. In Austin, Texas, starting on Wednesday, they have the match play tournament. So the only event of the year where instead of it being by stroke, it's just a head-to-head. They start with group play. And then they go to a round of 16. So it's very funny to see. Some years we've seen guys like Tiger, the number 1 overall seed, win the whole thing. And then we've seen the 60th ranked player win the whole thing.
Yeah, head-to-head is just anything goes.
Yeah.
It's like the NCAA tournament. You got the Oral Bradleys of the field.
Yeah.
Being Tiger Woods.
And they actually, for this, I mean, obviously it's not like the bracket challenge.
Obviously, yeah.
But they do have one that I actually filled out before the show. So that was fun. And I predicted that Tony Finau, who's been searching for that second career victory since 2016, gets the job done. So that would be fun.
That would be fun. I hope you win it, Barnes. And speaking of golf, I actually got a phone call today to see if I wanted to go play 18.
Wow.
2 last minute. I couldn't make it, but
man,
it's coming, guys.
Yeah.
Golf.
Yeah, I should have played over the
corner.
weekend, but I'm getting ready to get out there.
60 degrees out.
Yeah, I'm pumped, but a little nervous because I don't know about you, but every time the first round of the season, I mean, it is bad off the tee.
Yeah, the people who called me to play would have both shot in the 70s, and I probably would have shot like a 110, so it's probably better I didn't play.
Yeah, exactly. But, also good to get it out of the way, then get the rhythm
No,
going.
it would have been fun.
Like we've been saying, we're pumped to get out there. Tony, what's your handicap?
40.
And as we've been doing on the show,
I have a feeling Tony's better at frisbee golf than regular golf.
I get no.
You don't play. I figured you would with that mustache.
What are you gonna do, bro?
Definitely.
Can't do it all, huh?
But before we get to what we've been doing the last few shows, our prison pack reveal, I just curious what your guys' thoughts are. Favorite team left in the tournament?
Ooh, that's tough.
Syracuse for me.
I would normally say Syracuse. I'm gonna go. Is USC still in it?
Yeah, they're playing Kansas tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go USC, and I'm gonna say I watched their first round game. Whoever's coaching that team needs to get fired because
he was the guy that was Florida Gulf Coast coach.
He sucks. All they did with Evan Mobley on defense, he didn't leave the key. He just walked around the key the entire time. This is the most mobile 7-footer college has seen since Anthony Davis. Like, let him roam.
Yeah.
Make some plays. Like, they didn't make any big plays. They could have Evan Mobley can get some blocks, some stops, get some transition going.
Yeah.
I don't know. That team needs to be coached better. And his brother, too, the other Mobley brother, 6'8", 6'9". He's crazy good, too. They need to let these guys go instead of playing 2-3 zone.
So
man up.
A big game against Kansas tonight. So we'll see, if they're able to get the job done. And I mentioned the team before, but I'm going to go with the Ramblers of Loyola Chicago. I love the story.
Yeah.
So be interesting to see if they can make another. Yeah, Sister Jean. We saw her in the crowd yesterday over, with that big upset win over Illinois.
Didn't she say if they held Illinois under 30% from 3 that they would win? Did she say something like that? And then Illinois shot 29% from 3 and they lost.
The power of God, right?
Sister Jean, how old is she?
101, I believe.
Wow.
Yep. And she's going to these games. She's pumped. So can't wait to watch their Sweet 16 game.
Yeah, you can't not root for them.
And as I said before, we are going to do another Prism Pack reveal.
Here we go.
Feeling a big card.
Should we do 2 today?
I was thinking about it with Tony. We're going to save all the cards. So we're going to save that pack for the next week because this is going to go for 4 more days.
Okay.
So then we'll continue with that.
Okay.
And then Gino's going to come in studio. We'll have his pack. So we'll at least have packs for the next couple weeks, folks. All right. So here we go.
Let's go.
Already have it open.
Let's go LaMelo.
LaMelo or Anthony Edwards? Signed.
Both of them.
Signed.
We'll take a Wiseman.
Yeah, Wiseman would be solid.
All right, here we go. First one is Villanova, Sadiq Bey.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that one. The Detroit Piston.
He's putting up numbers in the Pistons, but Sadiq Bey is good.
But they need to build off something. So
Sadiq Bey is a big wing who can shoot threes.
Yeah.
3-and-D guy.
The next one is Jaden McDaniels.
Very young, very raw, but 6'10", long wingspan. I don't even think he weighs 200 pounds yet. So hold on to that one.
no way.
I saw something. I'm sorry.
Is it good?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to tell you. I'm going to make you guys quiver. The next one, though. This is... Whoa, chill, Tony.
Oh, my bad.
All right, the next one is Udoka Azubuike.
Okay, the big guy?
Yeah.
He's all right.
All right, relax.
Who does he play for?
Kansas. I'm not sure. Remember the Kansas big man?
Yeah, no. I just haven't heard his name since Kansas.
He reminds me of Joel.
He's a back to the basket kind of guy.
All right, and the next one, boys. It's Anthony Edwards.
He's shining too. What is
We've
that?
been waiting for this.
Oh, look at it.
Oh, my
my God, folks.
Oh, and Azubuike, by the way, is on the Jazz. So interesting spot for him to
Probably in the G League.
I would think so.
That card right there is probably worth more than the box.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Right?
Yep. Definitely. We've landed
now
a big one.
With LaMelo
That's
out
a
for
big
the
one.
year, that's a rookie of the year rookie card.
Oh,
too.
yeah. This is rookie of the year.
That is the rookie of the year. What is that?
Downtime has just
What's
clipped
that
it.
silver though?
The silver is the ultra rare.
Yeah.
Ultra rare downtown insert.
That's like one of the best ones in the pack.
Yeah.
That's a winner.
I think that might be a couple K.
Then we also have an autographed one. One more that's going to be in this pack that's autographed from one of these studs. Guaranteed.
Another Edwards back to back.
I'd cry.
I really just want to open one pack.
No, we're gonna wait.
There's 7 in here.
Relax. We're gonna go in order, dude. Relax.
Patience is a virtue.
Exactly.
I'm not patient.
Tell him.
I waited at home for my mailman to get this.
It's all right. Well,
and another package they didn't even drop
it's
off.
worth the wait, bro. Trust me. We're gonna have them. These Prism pack reveals are epic. The viewers love them. So
They just witnessed Anthony Edwards.
they just did. Let's go back to it real quick.
Show that card again.
And that's not Anthony. Oh, it is actually.
You get Udoka out of there.
Oh my God. All right, here we go. Zoom in on there, Tony. Boop. Boom. He's got the wings.
Sexy.
Look at that. Barnes.
That deserves a hard case. That doesn't go in a regular sleeve.
Yeah.
We need some hard cases. Call JPO.
Yeah, JPO, where you at?
JPO.
We need some hard cases ASAP. Boom. We did it.
The crazy part is we called it though.
We did.
We literally called it.
We manifested it.
Yes.
So
It's epic.
hard to be disappointed with that. And
No.
I can't wait to open some more.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
know Grasslow's
every
ready
day.
to open one right
No,
now.
every
Mike's-
day,
Mike's
every day.
laying the hammer down.
No, I think because it's better to
strict,
have.
man.
We have to have them for longevity. Every
I'm buying
day.
another box.
We will, yeah, and then we'll have it for. We'll
Look,
keep
you
it
just
going.
got a card that's probably already worth over $100.
We're gonna get more. We're gonna get more. I actually was looking for more too, so we'll do a group purchase with Gino.
This guy's got a couple boxes.
Look at this. Look at the prism. Boom. Look at that. Fresh box. How are you? Opening soon. All right, and let's close it out.
But one thing I'd like to mention that we didn't get to, RIP Elgin Baylor, the Hall of Fame forward, 86 years old.
Damn.
Lived a great life. We saw him, after his career getting the front office for a few teams. So yeah, the LA Clippers, he was decades. He was their general manager. So obviously, a sad note, he was a 10-time NBA All-Star and the Rookie of the Year in 1958.
Yeah. That
Legend.
is very, very sad. And speaking on that note, tell your friends you love them more.
Yeah.
I lost 2 friends the past 2 weeks, and you never know what's going to happen in life. And
Exactly.
tell your friends you love them sometimes.
Yeah.
And rest in peace, Elgin Baylor.
I do it all the time.
And
You do. We all do here at Downtime.
Yeah.
I like
yeah,
Except for Jay.
it.
I had to. Jay, if you're out there, I had to.
Yeah, so that will do it for today. But as always, thank you to everybody for joining us. Like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate the love.